Batting second, the left fielder, number 22, Eric Ginther. Batting third and catching, number 37, Addison Kopak. And batting fourth, playing right field, Billy Butler. Batting fifth and playing third base, number 28, Anthony Lino. And batting sixth, the shortstop, number 11, Alex Ramirez. Batting seventh and playing first base, number 42, Michael Anderson. Batting eighth, the designated hitter, number 6, Jack Opko. And batting ninth and playing second base, number 7, Brian King. On the mound, for Rhode Island, number 4, Tristan Levick. Rhode Island's head coach is Raphael Serrano. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineups for your Virginia Cavaliers, brought to you by season sponsor Battlefield Automotive. Leading off and playing shortstop, number 6, Greco Farrell. Batting second and playing center field, number 2, Ethan O'Donnell. Batting third, the third baseman, number 22, Jake Geloff. Batting fourth and catching, number 3, Kyle Teal. Batting fifth and playing right field, number 8, Casey Snarky. Batting sixth and playing first base, number 23, Ethan Anderson. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 7, Henry Gacko. Batting eighth and playing left field, number 34, Harrison Dewick. And batting ninth and playing second base, number 12, Justin Rubin. On the mound today for your Cavaliers, number 36, Brian Edgington. And in his 20th season, the Cavaliers head coach is Brian O'Connor, assisted by Kevin McMullen, Drew Dickinson, and Matt Kirby.
Back again to Davenport Field at Disharoon Park now for Game 2 of the doubleheader between Virginia and Rhode Island this afternoon. The Hoos take Game 1 from the Rams by a 12-6 final score and now looking for their second doubleheader sweep in as many weeks. Hi again, folks. Channing Pullback with you once again as Virginia now off to a 9-0 start to the season, looking to take the win streak into double digits. Again, 12-6 the final in Game 1, and they'll look to see if the offense can replicate the 12 runs and 14 hits, and also look to see if Brian Edgington can remain in the win column. Edgington makes what will be his third start of the season for Virginia. He is 2-0 with a 2.89 ERA, 9 1/3 innings of work. He has struck out 12 and has walked only 1. Here's a look at the batting order as put together by the opposing head coach, Raphael Serrano, for the now 3-4 Rhode Island Rams. Leading off once again is the center fielder, Mark Coley, with Eric Ginther in the 2 spot. He plays left field. It'll be Addison Kopak batting third, and today doing the catching for Game 2 after playing second base in Game 1. Hitting cleanup for the Rams in right field is Billy Butler. with Anthony DePino at third base in the 5 spot. Hitting 6th and playing shortstop is Alex Ramirez, with Michael Anderson, the first baseman, batting 7th. It is Jack Hopko getting a start as the designated hitter here for Game 2. He'll bat 8th. And Ryan King rounds out the order, getting the start at second base. And King bats 9th for Rhode Island. Again, for the Rams, the top third goes Coley, Ginther, Kopak. Middle third is Butler, DePino, Ramirez. On the bottom third of Anderson, Hopko, and King. And that lineup, once again, all against the grad transfer right-hander Brian Edgington, coming to UVA by way of Elon. And Edgington, again, makes his 3rd start for Virginia this season and makes his 47th career Division I appearance. It'll be his 35th career Division I start. Hatboro, Pennsylvania native, 6 foot tall, 200-pound righty out of Hatboro Horsham High School in Pennsylvania. He wears number 36 for the Hoos, and he looks to get Virginia off to a nice start as the Hoos looking to improve to 10-0 on the season. Well, for Virginia, they have swapped out the white uniform tops for the white pinstripe uniform tops. Virginia now in block lettering across the chest, the blue cap with the white front quadrant, and the V-Sabre logo on the front of the cap as always. So Edgington against Coley to get things started, righty against righty. And the right-hander kicks, deals, and a fastball swung on and fouled back. And we are underway at 4:06 this afternoon. Shadows now from the overhang ending just beyond the pitcher's mound. Might be somewhat of a tough way to pick up the baseball in the first couple of innings for a batter. Next pitch fouled back once again on a fastball from Edgington. 92, top of the zone. And it's quickly 0-2 to Mark Coley, redshirt senior center fielder for Rhode Island, 0 for 5 in Game 1. Edgington checks the wristband for the sign, and now ready to go. Here comes the right-hander's 0-2 offering, and it is right there for strike 3 call. Drops in a slider, and over the course of the doubleheader, Mark Coley has now struck out 4 times. One away to get this thing underway. And for first pitch of Game 2, we sit 59 degrees under sunny skies. And thankfully, although it is still a bit windy out there, it has died down from earlier in the afternoon when we saw gusts as high as 30 miles an hour. Now should be topping out in the teens. And obviously the wind played a few tricks on the baseball in Game 1. Fastball to start Eric Ginther misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes to the left-handed batter, as URI inserts an additional lefty in the lineup against the righty Edgington for Game 2. And that's Jack Hopko, who is the designated hitter for this game. The 1-0 pitch now. In there for a called strike. And it's 1-1. Chris Ward now behind the plate calling balls and strikes. Greg Howard, the first base umpire. Dave Martinez at second. Linus Baker completes the crew down the third base line. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, bases empty. Just underway in Game 2. And the pitch. Fastball, check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, says Linus Baker. One and 2 the count. Ginther 2 for 5 with a home run in Game 1. And he actually starts a string of 4 consecutive hitters in the lineup who all homered for Rhode Island in Game 1. The 1-2 pitch now from Edgington. Over but low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As the count even to Ginther. 296 hitter for the season, a couple of homers and 3 RBIs. 304 hitter last season for Rhode Island. 2-2 pitch is over the inside edge for strike 3 called. Back-to-back backwards Ks for Edgington to start the ball game. And it's 2 up, 2 down as now Addison Kopak will be the batter. Fastball ran back over the inside edge. So 2 outs, bases empty now for Kopak. His 1 hit in Game 1, he made the most of it, a 3-run homer. He also drew a walk, was on base a couple of times. 2 outs, bases clear. Edgington starts the windup. Here's the pitch. Slider right there for strike 1. No balls and a strike to Kopak. His defense has not yet been tested, but let's set that defensive alignment for Virginia. Kyle Teal, the catcher and battery mate for Edgington. Infield third to first has Jake Geloff at third. Griff O'Farrell, the shortstop. Justin Rubin gets a start for game 2. He plays second base. Ethan Anderson is at first. Fastball over the outside edge, strike 2. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. The outfield left to right of Harrison Didowick in left, Ethan O'Donnell, the center fielder, and Casey Sauke in right field to complete the Virginia defense. No balls, 2 strikes the count. Edgington kicks the leg, the pitch. Fouled back. 93 in on the hands. And we'll do it again, 0-2. Again, Kopak, first team all A-10 selection last year, finished with a team-leading 17 homers and 60 RBIs after hitting .364 to lead the charge for the Rams last season. Here comes the 0-2 from Edgington. Slider down and away. Good take from Kopak on a pitch that missed just off of the outside corner. 2 outs, bases cleared, just underway, top of the first. And Edgington brings the glove down, letter high, kicks and deals. Fastball, strike 3 call. All of the looking variety. Brian Edgington strikes out the side here in the top of the first. That's a way to kick things off on the right foot. We'll go to the bottom half of the first. Cavalier offense set to go to work when we come back.
Sitting in defense for Rhode Island at first base, Michael Anderson. Playing second base, Ryan King. At shortstop, Alex Ramirez. And over at third base, Anthony Nino. Out of left field, Eric Kemper. Playing center field, Mark Cohen. And around the right, Billy Butler. Behind the plate, Addison Kopak. And on the mound today for Rhode Island, number 4, Tristan Levack. And the Hoos are due up. It's time to go to work.
Brian Edgington strikes out the side in the top of the first, and now see if the offense can give him any run support in the bottom half of the first inning. Cavaliers scored 7 times in the first inning of game 1. Griff O'Farrell, the shortstop, will lead it off with Ethan O'Donnell in center field batting second. Jake Geloff hits third and plays third base with Kyle Teal in the cleanup spot. He is the Virginia catcher. Casey Sauke in right field bats fifth. Hitting sixth at first base, Ethan Anderson. We're set to go with Tristan Levack dealing down and away for ball 1. The bottom third has Henry Godbout as the designated hitter for game 2, batting 7th. Harrison Didowick hits 8th. He's in left field. And Justin Rubin, the second baseman, completes the order, batting 9th. Levack, junior left-hander, deals, and he's over the inside corner with a fastball for a strike, 1-1. Again, the top third goes O'Farrell, O'Donnell, Geloff. Middle third, Teal, Sauke, Anderson. And the bottom third of Godbout as the DH, Didowick and Rubin. Levack's next pitch is skied to center field. Coley drifting in a few steps. Makes a one-handed grab, and there is one away as O'Farrell is retired. And now Ethan O'Donnell will be the batter. Tristan Levack, a junior left-hander from East Lyme, Connecticut. He's out of East Lyme High School. Down on the coast, 5'10", 197-pound southpaw. And Levack deals a fastball down to O'Donnell, 1-0. Has been the best arm going for Rhode Island, both last season and this season, really. A guy who made 14 starts last year for the Rams. His next pitch over the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. 6 of his 14 starts last year were quality starts. Now the 1-1 pitch. Top of the zone for strike 2 called. So 1-2. 1 out, base is empty. No score, home half of the first. And Levesque off the third base side of the rubber. Back into the windup. The pitch. Breaking ball down. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Where's number 4 for the Rams? And a guy listed on their roster as a two-way guy, also as an outfielder, although he has only seen time as a pitcher. And the pitch down and away. That will run the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Ethan O'Donnell. O'Donnell 2 for 3 with a home run in game 1. Snuck a ball over the wall in the right field corner. A cut and a miss here at the fastball from Levesque. And that is out number 2. Again, Levesque, I mean, really across the board. This season, it's a very limited sample size, but 11 innings, 14 strikeouts, only 1 walk, and now make it 15. Working quickly, the first pitch to Geloff misses down. Opponents hitting just 195 against him, only 8 hits allowed over 11 innings. And off to a 2-0 start with an ERA under 2.5. But, you know, last year, bigger sample size. Again, he was their most consistent pitcher. Fastball at the knees for a called strike, 1-1. And for each of the first couple of weekends and now 3 weekends, he has been the second starter as Geloff fouls it off his front foot behind Sean Sposato. But Sposato, his numbers not great entering today, and obviously had a very rough go of it in game 1 today. I mean, regardless of how Rhode Island continues to order their starters on a weekend moving forward, I mean, Levesque is their number 1 guy. He's got a swing and a miss here as Geloff is down on strikes. And 1, 2, 3 go the Who's in the home half of the first. And I'm going to tell you, Virginia might have its hands full. Levesque has been pretty impressive this season, and equally so in the first inning today. After 1 scoreless inning of play, it's Virginia and Rhode Island heading to the second from Davenport Field at Disharoon Park. I'll see if Brian Edgington can in any way replicate what he did in the first inning, striking out the side on just 15 pitches. And all 3 backwards Ks. He got Coley, Ginther, and Kopak looking. He'll now face Butler, DePino, and Ramirez for the Rams as we go to the top of the second. No score, Virginia and Rhode Island. And Edgington flips in a slider for strike 1, 0-1 to Billy Butler. Butler 2 for 5 with a solo homer in game 1. And now Edgington back into the windup with the pitch. And he missed. Oh, beg your pardon. He gets the call on a generous outside edge from home plate umpire Chris Ward there. Now the 0-2 from Edgington. Swinging a ground ball towards third. That is a foul ball. Geloff makes the throw across the way, and an accurate one for whatever it's worth, but Linus Baker stopping the play on a foul ball. And we'll do it again, 0-2. Edgington stretches out the arms and now ready to go. And again, the 0-2 pitch. Right there for strike three call. 4 consecutive backwards Ks in the scorebook to open up the game for Brian Edgington. And Anthony DePino will be the next man up for the Rams. See how long he can keep this going. Quite the impressive start with the grad transfer from Elon, Brian Edgington. DePino, another one of the guys who left the ballpark in game 1. He takes a called strike, and it's 0-1. Ginther, Kopech, Butler, and DePino all with home runs. 3 of the 4 were solo homers, and the other was a 3-run homer from Kopech. Rhode Island scoring all 6 of its runs on home runs. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball in there for strike 2. And again, it's a Rhode Island team that broke the program record for home runs in a season last year. And they did it without 2 of the guys they expected to have in Coley and Butler, who both can put up some pretty decent home run numbers. So they feel like they are poised to once again break that mark this season. Fastball is popped up. Back behind home plate, Teal gives it a look. And he will have room to make the catch basket style. And that's out number 2. Didn't think he was going to have room, but Teal, I don't know if it might have even been in part using his offhand to push the netting back and help guide the baseball into his glove. But either way, DePino is retired. So 2 outs, bases empty now for Alex Ramirez. Ramirez, one of 3 left-handed bats in the lineup for Coach Serrato for game 2 of the doubleheader. And Edgington rocks and fires. And he just missed away. Looked like a changeup fading off of the outside corner, 1-0. Mentioned Virginia swapped out for the pinstripe look for game 2. Rhode Island now wearing the navy blue uniform tops for game 2. And the pitch upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes to Ramirez. You know, and again, we saw it in game 1. 6 runs, 10 hits, including 4 homers. It's a Rhode Island offense with a lot of pop. And I think that's why the A-10, a lot of people, D1 baseball included, sort of thinking of them as a sleeper team in the A-10. As the pitch fouled back, 2 balls and a strike. I think the consensus seems to be that Davidson and VCU are the 2 best clubs in the A-10 this season. Of course, the Hoos will see VCU for the regular visit to the Diamond and also a return visit to Charlottesville later in the season. 2-1, just missed away with the fastball. 3 balls and 1 strike. But again, with Rhode Island's offense, they can slug their way into any game. The question is going to be, will there be any improvement on the pitching side of things, which is where they struggled last season. And at least in the early parts of the season, that's been the issue this year as well. 3-1 pitch, that's up high, ball 4. So Ramirez works a 2-out walk and is the first Rhode Island base runner. No score, top of the second. And Michael Anderson off to a 12-for-24 start to the season. Twice over the Atlantic 10 Rookie of the Week. And yes, they've played 2 weeks. And he has won the award both times to kick off his collegiate career. Takes a breaking ball away, and it's 1-0. I almost wondered if he had had his 2 weeks in reverse order, would he have won both weeks? Opening weekend, he was impressive, 5 for 11, 4 RBIs. But not nearly as impressive as last weekend, as Anderson went 6 for 9, 3 homers, 6 RBIs, and 6 runs scored. And so even if the A10 was thinking, well, we'd like to mix it up and give it to somebody else, I mean, he kind of forced their hand. 6 hits and half of them were home runs and 6 RBIs as Rhode Island picked up a series win at Mercer. Breaking ball line to left field. Didowick shading his eyes, will play it on a hop. And it is a 2-out single for Michael Anderson. And Rhode Island has first and second with 2 outs now for Jack Hopko. Hopko making his 5th start of the year. And again, mentioned it in game 1. Rhode Island has been really consistent with their batting order. 1 through 7 has been identical, and then 8 and 9 has just been basically a flip-flop of a couple of guys rotating through games at the second base and DH spot. And it's sort of as Kopak catches every other game, and Rob Butler is the catcher for those other games. Fastball, I guess a little high. 1 ball, no strikes to Hopko. Didn't miss by much. Freshman bats from the left side of the plate. And he bats with Ramirez at second, Anderson at first, and 2 outs. From the belt, Edgington deals and drops a changeup in for a strike to even the count at 1-1. Hopko, freshman from Indwell, New York. Maine Indwell Senior High School in the Binghamton area. 1-1 pitch. Off the plate away. 2 balls and a strike to Jack Hopko. 6-foot-tall left-handed batter. And so far this season, 4 hits in 14 at-bats. 1 of the 4 a home run. It sort of feels like a requirement to stay in the lineup, is you got to be able to hit the ball out of the ballpark for Coach Serrato. Fastball swung on and missed. That's sort of the new age of baseball. And Edgington confirming that the count should be 2-2 on Jack Hopko. Now the pitch, and missed away with a fastball. 3-2. So runners will be off with the pitch. Ramirez from second, Anderson from first. And what had started unceremoniously with another strikeout and then a pop out to the catcher has turned into a bit of a rally for Rhode Island here in the second. Can Edgington work his way out of it? Runners go, check swing, and a ball down and out of the zone, and no swing, says third base umpire Linus Baker. And all of a sudden, the Rams have the bases loaded. And again, albeit with 2 outs, but Edgington's going to have to make a pitch and get out of this jam, and he'll get a visit from Kyle Teal now to try and figure out how to attack King and get the Hoos out of this second inning. Well, we will be keeping an eye on Louisville and TCU as part of the Shriners Classic in Houston. Louisville playing some pretty heady company this weekend. Yesterday it was a win over Texas A&M, 15th ranked Aggies. Today they take on the 10th ranked Horned Frogs. Bases loaded, 2 outs, the pitch. And a fastball missed away. Also keeping an eye on Miami and Florida in Gainesville. Last night it was all Gators, a 10-4 win over the Hurricanes, and they are just underway in Gainesville. 1-0 pitch, and that one I'm not sure what home-plate umpire Chris Ward saw, but it looked to be a really good pitch. Edgington just doesn't get the call, and it's 2-0 on the redshirt freshman King. Next pitch from Edgington. Swing and a miss. Fastball by him. 2 balls, 1 strike. Ramirez at third, Anderson at second, Hopko at first with 2 outs. Scoreless game. Edgington trying to keep it that way. We are in the top of inning number 2. The pitch, swinging a little bloop shot down the left field line. That is a foul ball out of the reach of Geloff, who will go to retrieve it, flip it to a young fan, hanging over the railing down on the berm. And the count is now even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And see if Edgington can find a pitch to get Virginia out of this jam in the second inning. It's all come with 2 outs. And again, Edgington with 4 strikeouts already today. Would be quite the time for number 5. Bases loaded here with 2 outs. Right-hander set, the pitch. Swinging a line drive, look out. A foul ball down the line. The runner at third, Ramirez, ducking down out of the way of the oncoming line drive. So another 2-2 pitch to come. You know, Edgington doesn't want to go full here. And the pitch to King. Swung on and fouled back. Edgington to the slider. Like right over the outside edge, and a good pitch from Edgington. But King was up to the task, at least to the tune of fouling it off. And he'll live to see another pitch. Redshirt freshman right-hand hitter from Bernardsville, New Jersey. And the 2-2 pitch from Edgington. Fouled back again. So after Edgington struck out the side in the first, with 2 outs here in the second inning, Rhode Island really making him work and elevating that pitch count. The 2-2. Swung on and he popped him up. Should get Virginia out of the inning. O'Donnell shading his eyes, coming in to make a one-handed catch. And the inning is over. So again, Rhodey mounts a threat. They load the bases with 2 outs, but do not score as Edgington able to pitch out of it. The end of 1 1/2 innings of play. Still no score between Virginia and Rhode Island.
The 2023 UD baseball season is presented by Battlefield Automotive Group. Don't drop the ball on open day. Visit Battlefield Automotive today.
Still no score thanks to some solid work from Brian Edgington on the mound to leave the bases loaded with Rhode Island Rams last half inning. Now we'll see if Virginia's offense can muster anything against Tristan Levesque as we go to the bottom half of inning number 2. Pitch to Kyle Teal misses. 1 ball, no strikes. Teal, Sauke, and Anderson, middle third of the lineup. Levesque, a 1-2-3 first, struck out 2 of the 3 batters that he faced. Teal, a check swing, doesn't matter. It's a called strike. And 1-1 the count. In Levesque, a junior from East Lyme, Connecticut, working quickly the 1-1. And that missed wide. 2 balls and 1 strike. Former All-State selection at East Lyme High School, pitching for the Vikings. Did that as a junior. in 2019. 2-1 pitch, breaking ball, chopped foul outside of first. And Coach Kirby trying to play the deflection, ends up knocking it over to first baseman Michael Anderson. Could not control the rebound, but give him a hockey assist. 2-2 pitch now from Levesque is golfed out into right field, a base hit. A breaking ball down around the ankles, and Kyle Teal goes down to get it and serves it into right for Virginia's first hit of the ballgame. So Teal, his third hit over the course of the doubleheader today, after a 2-for-4 in game one. And the leadoff man aboard for Virginia. Now Casey Sauke. And the pitch down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Sauke 1 for 5 with a double in game one. Right fielder for Virginia once again. And the 1-0 pitch now from Levesque. Swing and a miss. Had him out in front of that changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, Levesque mentioned All-State as a junior. His senior season canceled by the pandemic at East Lyme High School. And they put him right to work as a true freshman in 2021. 18 appearances, 5 starts. And there's a called strike over the outside edge, 1-2. And he was good his freshman year. He won 5 games. He picked up a save. ERA just over 4. 45 1/3 innings. I mean, that's a pretty solid workload for a true freshman. Swinging bunt by Sauke will bounce foul along the third baseline. And we'll do it again, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runner at first in this scoreless game. Home half of the second inning for Virginia. And then again, last year they moved him into the weekend rotation. He started 14 games, 6 of them quality starts, 6 innings or more, and 3 earned runs or fewer. He actually went 7 innings on 5 separate occasions. And he was pretty much a lock to get through 5 innings. 10 of his 14 starts, he went at least 5 innings for Rhode Island. Check over to first. Back in safely goes Kyle Teal. Seen Teal a couple of times this season trying to get a running start against an opposing pitcher. Now, he has not done it on a left-handed pitcher, and I would doubt if he were to try that. Nevertheless, seemingly more aggressive on the base paths in the early part of the season. And Levesque again checking on him at first. Either that or he just can't sit still and is always in motion at first. Walks his lead away again, held on there by Michael Anderson. Sauke fouls a fastball back. And we'll do it again, 1-2. Almost unheard of in this day and age, but Tristan Levesque, coming out of high school, was not ranked by perfect game. Pitch is swung on and fouled away, and it's 1-2. He was nowhere amongst the state rankings in Connecticut, position rankings, overall rankings, and you just don't see that for guys playing Division I baseball. But obviously, highly thought of enough by Rhode Island to bring him in and plug him into action immediately. Sauke rips one down the left field line. That's a fair ball. Rolling towards the corner. Heading to third is Teal. They're going to wave him home. The throw, there will be no relay to the plate, and Virginia strikes first. It's an RBI double for Casey Sauke, ripping one down the left field line. Virginia 1, Rhode Island nothing. A hard-fought battle from Sauke, digging deep into that at-bat to get Virginia on the board. And that is RBI number 8 for Sauke this season. On the 8th pitch of that at-bat, he lines one to left for a double. Now Anderson, switch hitter, batting right. Takes a fastball just in off the plate, 1-0. And again, that was a theme for both teams in game one. It was a lot of deep at-bats. Teams not giving in with 2 strikes against them. Pitch to Anderson, swung on and skied out towards shallow left center field, and that ball's going to dunk in for a base hit. In between the shortstop Ramirez, the center fielder Coley. Nobody could get to it, and Anderson will reach. Sauke over to third base. So Virginia has runners at the corners, still nobody out in the inning. So here's Henry Godbout. That ball bounces away from the catcher, and Kopach can't find it. Home from third, Sauke, and he will cross the plate standing up. Wild pitch makes it 2-0 Virginia. Up to second goes Anderson. So man at second, nobody out, and an opportunity for Virginia to tack on even more. Corners in, middle back, and Godbout hit by the pitch. So first and second, nobody out for Harrison Didowick. And Didowick, who has 2 sacrifice bunts on the year, would not be at all surprised to see him lay one down and try and give Justin Rubin an opportunity to add to this already 2-0 lead. First, a visit from Rhode Island pitching coach Dave Fisher. Who will call the entire infield in on the mound. Fisher, sort of something to aspire to, hired as director of ops, promoted to volunteer assistant, and now ultimately the pitching coach on Rafael Serrato's staff, putting in his time and rewarding him with multiple promotions, now into the pitching coach role. Former right-hander at UConn, 18th round draft choice by the Nationals back in 2012. Coming out of UConn his senior year, had been a 30th round draft choice after his junior year. And now his second year as the pitching coach. Again, corners in, middle back, following the visit to the mound. It's Didowick, the lefty, against Levesque, the left-handed pitcher, who kicks the leg, spins, and looks the runner back. And Didowick does indeed square, but pushes it foul off the third base line. No balls and 1 strike to count. Virginia has Anderson at second, Godbout at first. And again, lead this game 2-0. With 2 runs home in the inning. An RBI double for Sauke that scored Teal, and then Sauke came home to score on a wild pitch. The 0-1, Didowick squares, pulls it back, and a fastball misses high. 1 ball and 1 strike to Harrison Didowick. 1 for 3, an RBI, a walk, and a run scored. And again, as I mentioned, a sacrifice bunt as well. He drops it down third base side, but again, a foul ball. 1-2 the count. Now to Harrison Didowick. Never say never, but presumably the bunt play will be taken off, although obviously we've seen it plenty of times before. Lefty against lefty, 1 ball, 2 strikes. No sign of a bunt. And takes the fastball high, 2-2. Virginia 2, Rhode Island nothing. In the early goings of game 2 of the doubleheader. It saw Virginia take game 1 12-6. 12 runs, 14 hits. 7 of those 12 runs came in the first inning. Didowick swings and chops a breaking ball foul off his foot. And the the count holds at 2-2. Rhode Island has already made Virginia starter Brian Edgington work. He's at 44 pitches through 2 innings. Virginia doing the same to Tristan Levesque here in the second inning. He catches the outside corner with a fastball here for his 3rd strikeout of the ball game. Didowick is caught looking, and that is a big first out recorded by the lefty Tristan Levesque. Quickly set at the belt, the pitch. Fastball down, 1-0. Rhode Island again, the navy blue uniform tops, with Rhode Island in Columbia blue letters across the chest. The 1-0 is swung on and missed. Pulled the string on a changeup, Rubin out in front. And the count even up at a ball and a strike to Rubin. Rubin back in at the second base spot today. Takes the pitch outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. And this is Justin Rubin's 6th start of the year. 5 hits in 17 at-bats on the season. 2 men on, 1 man out. The pitch swung on, popped up right side, but foul. That will get out of play, and the count even at 2-2. Been interesting to see the rotation of Godbout and Rubin at second base, as Godbout continues to swing a hot bat, keeping him in the lineup even when Rubin starts at second. Runners go. The pitch misses up and away on a breaking ball, and Virginia picks an excellent pitch to go on. Not even a throw from the catcher Addison Kopak. Anderson steals third. Godbout steals second. Second and third with 1 out. The payoff pitch now to Rubin. Swung on, grounded right side. That will get the run home. Only 1 play for the first baseman, Anderson. He steps on the bag, 3 unassisted, but an RBI for Justin Rubin. His 3rd of the year. As Ethan Anderson scores from third and over to third, goes Henry Godbout. So now 2 outs. Not out of the woods yet. Levesque, as Griff O'Farrell could tack on another one here for Virginia with a base hit. Godbout at third with 2 down. Shadows covering the majority of the infield now. Just 1 sunny spot left. That's at short, where Alex Ramirez operates for Rhode Island. Runner at third base is Godbout. The pitch. O'Farrell trying to drag a bunt down the third base line. Going to be a tough play for DePino. He throws across the way and not in time. O'Farrell reading the third baseman, DePino playing back. Dropped it down. A beautiful drag bunt. He's got an RBI and a bunt base hit to make it Virginia 4, Rhode Island nothing. Now Ethan O'Donnell, I almost wonder if O'Farrell had been 0 for 6 so far in the doubleheader. Was that just as much trying to mix it up for himself to get out of the very mini slump there, but just to find a way to make it happen, and he did exactly that. 4 runs, 4 hits now for Virginia. Levesque, a second check over at first. Make it 3 in a row now. That one almost got away from the first baseman and will draw some groans from the Cavalier faithful on the 3 consecutive pickoffs. I mean, anytime you throw over 3 times in a row, it'll make the crowd grumble. It's almost a requirement. Fastball away to O'Donnell. 1 ball, no strikes. But again, Virginia has answered back in obviously breaking through first on the scoreboard, but also making Levesque work after a very quick first inning. He has thrown over 30 pitches in this second inning. Line shot by O'Donnell, dropped by the second baseman, picked back up, and then a wide throw to first that pulls Michael Anderson off of the bag. Boy, Ryan King all over the place on that play. He drops the ball, hit right at him, and then recovers in time to make a throw to first, but he unleashes a wild throw to first. And an E4 that will extend the inning for Virginia. And get Geloff, the 9th man to bat in the inning, to the plate. Fastball at the knees for a called strike one. You know, again, and thinking back, I mean, Sauke's double really the only hard-hit ball of the inning. But Virginia has turned it into a 4-run frame. Geloff swings, skies one to right field. Butler sheds the cap, but calling for it makes the catch, and that will retire the side. But again, all 9 guys come to the plate for Virginia. A 4-run frame to put the Hoos on the board. And after 2 complete innings in Charlottesville, it's Virginia 4, Rhode Island nothing.
Turn your attention to the vision for Who Am I? Presented by UVA Health. I was an All-American linebacker and catcher. I always wear a helmet when the Hoos are at bat. I was recognized as college baseball's top assistant 3 times. Which historic Cavalier could this be? Stay tuned to find out at the end of the 3rd inning.
Some room to work with now for Brian Edgington. The Cavalier offense spots him a 4-run lead as we go to the 3rd. It's Virginia 4, Rhode Island nothing. He'll face the top of the lineup again for URI. Mark Coley, Eric Ginther, and Addison Kopak. Edgington, a 29-pitch second, but he was able to leave the bases loaded with Rams. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and it's 0-1 on Mark Coley. Strikeout victim for the 4th time today in his first at bat. And again, a guy, the leadoff hitter, but packs plenty of pop, known as a home run threat. Swings and skies one to left. A high fly ball chasing Didowick back onto the warning track. And he makes the catch for out number 1. That's the 2nd time in this game that Coley has hit a high fly ball to left that off of the bat has had the trajectory to make it look like a home run, but he has just not caught it on the best part of the bat. And it has gone for a loud out. So he's retired, and now Ginther the batter. Left-hand hitter against the righty Edgington. With 1 out and the bases empty here in the 3rd. And a breaking ball strike. 0-1. Edgington, 6th-year senior. His 4th school over 6 years of collegiate baseball. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Up the ladder with a fastball that time. Up and out of the zone, but Ginther helped him out. And quickly 0-2. Fastball that sits in the low 90s. For the former St. Joe's Hawk, Mercer County Community College Viking, and Elon Phoenix, now Virginia Cavalier. The 0-2 pitch is downstairs, 1-2. He has pitched in the A-10, conference that is home to Rhode Island. For St. Joe's briefly in the 2018 season, just 7 appearances for the Hawks. The 1-2, and it hit him. Got a piece of Ginther's back on its way into Kyle Teal's glove. You could hear the double hit as it hit Ginther, then glove. And a 1-out base runner on the hit by pitch. And not the guy you want to put people on in front of is, again, Addison Kopak. Dangerous batter to the plate now. And the pitch. Takes it at the knees for a called strike. You know, a lot of guys listed as utility players on a roster, but Kopak really means it. He has, in his Rhode Island career, played every infield position, and that includes both pitcher and catcher. The 0-1. Chopper, left side. There's O'Farrell, the shortstop, to second for 1. Rubin relay to first, not in time. It was going to be a very tough play to turn it into 2, and Kopak just runs too well, as O'Farrell had to range way over into the hole to get to it. And again, a good job to get the lead runner, but Rubin, who made a nice quick transfer and release, there was just no way that they were going to also get Kopak at first. But 2 outs, runner at first. Now for Billy Butler. Kopak, in fact, in one of his summer ball teams, played all 9 positions. He did the old, going to play a different position every inning. And a guy that has seen time on the mound, although it's been a while. In 2021, he made 6 relief appearances for Rhode Island. Now focusing primarily on his bat. And again, first-team all-conference selection last year. Breaking ball to Billy Butler, misses outside, 1-0. Caught looking on strikes his first time up, back in the second. And now here in the third with 2 outs and a runner at first base. Butler bats righty against righty. 4-0 Hoos, top of the third. And Edgington deals. Down and away with a fastball. 2 balls, no strikes. Redshirt senior from Pontiac High School in Foster, Rhode Island. Two-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Slider from Edgington. Butler asking to confirm with home plate umpire Chris Ward if that would have been a strike even if he had not offered, and I think he got the indication that it would have been regardless. Two-one, runner goes. Swing and a miss. Teal's throw down to second base is right on the money. Rubin caught it right on the body of the oncoming base runner Kopak, who does run well, but is caught stealing by Kyle Teal with a strike down to second base. That will retire the side. And again, Edgington faces the minimum 3 batters here in the top of the third. We go to the bottom half of the inning after 2.5 innings of play in Charlottesville. It's Virginia 4, Rhode Island nothing.
Virginia Baseball would like to give a big thank you to United Concordia, a proud sponsor of Virginia Athletics. Fortify your business with United Concordia Dental.
just as he did in the second. Kyle Teal will lead things off in the third. Virginia sent 9 men to the plate in the second. 4 of them came home to score. It's Virginia 4, Rhode Island nothing. In the last of the third now, and Tristan Levesque deals in a fastball that is roped to right field for a base hit. Kyle Teal with a line shot. He's now 2 for 2. Seen it well out of the hand of the left-hander Levesque. And now Casey Sauke for Virginia. Perhaps more of the same from the second inning for the Cavalier offense here. That's now 4 runs, 5 hits against Levesque. From the belt, Sauke takes down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Virginia looking to improve to 10-0 on the season. Levesque from the belt and popped him up. Foul back behind home plate. Will there be room for Kopak? No, there will not. About 3 rows deep to flex off of the seats and into the netting. 1-1 the count to Sauke. Virginia has gone 10-0 on 6 different occasions under Brian O'Connor, so this would mark the 7th time if they could post another win here in Game 2. Sauke pops it up, foul back, and out of play. And 1-2. And not to get out over my skis, but a sweep in this series would not only mean an 11-0 start for the 5th time in Coach O'Connor's tenure, but it would also mean 800 wins for the skipper here at Virginia. Sitting at 798 with the win earlier today. Swing and a foul tip back to the screen, and it's 1-2. Only 7 coaches in ACC history have reached 800 wins at an ACC school. And Brian O'Connor trying to become number 8. Chance to do it this weekend. 1-2 pitch, popped up foul by Sauke. And we'll do it again, 1-2. Runner at first base with nobody out. We are in the home half of the 3rd inning. Virginia 4, Rhode Island nothing. Now the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Changeup diving down and away. Sauke is out on strikes. Strikeout number 4 for Tristan Levesque. And now Ethan Anderson for Virginia. Switch hitter batting right against the lefty Levesque. And he swings and rockets one to left. That ball's well tagged. Ginther is back at the wall. He leaps and he makes the catch. And Anderson just barely missing what would have been a home run from each side of the plate today, as Ginther, leaping at the wall, is able to keep it in the ballpark. And Anderson just narrowly missing what would have been a 2-run homer. Ball looked like it had some topspin, diving downward towards the left fielder. Nevertheless, a well-tagged baseball that goes as out number 2. So 2 outs and a man at first, and Godbout now the batter for Virginia. He was hit by a pitch as part of that 4-run second inning. Takes a fastball in here from Levesque, and it's 1-1. The 1-1. Grounded foul along third base and deflects out into left field, where Ginther goes to retrieve it. And he will just flip it up onto the berm, where a race ensues between all the young fans down there. Heavily populated hill this afternoon, but nothing compared to what we'll see tomorrow for Youth Day. Fastball down and in 2-2. They get the inflatable slide and the bounce house going beyond that left field wall, and this place is packed with kids on home Sundays. 2-2 to Godbout. Runner at first, 2 outs. The pitch. Check swing. Did he go? No swing, says Greg Howard down the first base line. And Levesque, junior left-hander, ready from the belt. Runner goes. Pitch grounded out towards short. Ramirez gobbles, throws to first, and the inning is over. 6-3 on the putout as Godbout is retired. And Virginia won over the minimum here in the third, a leadoff single but nothing further. At the end of 3 complete, our score remains Virginia 4, Rhode Island nothing. Sun beginning to set over Disharoon Park as we go to the 4th. This ball game about an hour old and has seen Virginia put up 4 runs on 5 hits. They lead Rhode Island by a 4-0 score. And Brian Edgington back to the mound for his 4th inning of work now for the Wahoos. Cavalier right-hander and Elon transfer. Kicks and deals. A breaking ball swung on and missed by Billy Butler. And it's 0-1. Butler, DePino, and Ramirez. The middle third of the lineup for URI. And now the 0-1 on the right-hander, Edgington. Down and away with a slider, 1-1. To Billy Butler. 11 hits in 29 at-bats now in the season for Butler. And Edgington again kicks, deals. Fastball down and away, 2-1. Last year, 86 innings, 86 strikeouts to only 27 walks for Edgington. Again, this season, he came in to today's start with a ridiculous ratio of 12 strikeouts to only 1 walk over 9 innings. Now the 2-1 pitch, and that's a little bit low. 3 balls and 1 strike to count to Billy Butler. As a hitter's count for the Rhode Island right fielder. And Edgington back to work. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Blew a fastball by him. And the count goes full at 3-2 now on Billy Butler. Payoff pitch to come. As Edgington rocks and fires. And right there for strike 3 call, and Butler knew it. 91 over the outside edge, and Brian Edgington has strikeout number 5. And amazingly, all 5 strikeouts have been looking. So 1 out in the 4th. And Anthony DePino will be the batter. Popped out to the catcher his first time up. On a nice play from Teal, using all of the allotted space behind home plate to make the catch. Slider for a called strike, and it's 0-1 to DePino. Tough game for most of game one for DePino, as he had a couple of early strikeouts and committed a couple of early errors, but in the 8th inning, he did launch a solo home run. 0-1, grounded sharply towards short. O'Farrell ranging over into the hole. Off-balance throw is in time. He had Anderson leaning a little bit into the base path, and Ethan spins out of the way of the oncoming base runner. But 6-3 on the putout as DePino is retired. 2 up, 2 down in the 4th. And that will bring Alex Ramirez to the plate for Rhode Island. Redshirt junior bats on the left side of the plate. Messing with the dirt in the lefty's batter's box. Now settles in against the right-hander Edgington. Shadows covering the majority of the field now as the sun begins to set over Disharoon Park. Both the center and left fielders for Virginia, O'Donnell and Didowick, shading their eyes just to watch the pitch come in. Breaking ball misses down, and it's 1-0. Tough to see from their angles at this time of day. And a breaking ball strike. 1-1 the count. Two outs, bases empty. And Edgington back into the windup. Fastball right there for strike 2 called. Ramirez dropped his bat, leaned back as if frustrated by the call, but I mean, that caught plenty of the zone. Good pitch from Edgington. Now the right-hander's 1-2 offering. He deals, and a slider down. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Even as he missed, pretty good pitch from Edgington there, trying to induce a swing from Ramirez, but he would not offer. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And now Edgington deals. Fastball roped foul. Ramirez was geared up for it. And even early on the pitch, even though it was a 91-mile-an-hour fastball, he was all the way out in front of it and pulled it foul outside of first base. So 2-2 remains the count. Again, 2 outs and the bases are empty. And Edgington, off the first base side of the rubber, shrugs the shoulders, peers over the glove, now deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fastball by him. Edgington's 6th strikeout of the day, and amazingly his first swinging strikeout. 3.5 innings in the books and 4 scoreless frames in the books for Brian Edgington. As we go to the bottom of the 4th, it's Virginia 4, Rhode Island 0.
Virginia baseball is now inviting all youth 18 and under to come to the ballpark free any day of the week. That's right. All kids 18 and under get free admission to all Virginia baseball home games with the purchase of an adult general admission ticket. Online only. Visit UVA6.com to learn more.
as Brian Edgington continues to cruise on the mound for Virginia. See if the offense can add to this 4-0 Cavalier lead. Bottom of the fourth, and Tristan Levesque, the Rhode Island lefty, back to the hill. And he deals a called strike at the knees to start Harrison Didowick, 0-1. 8-9-1 in the Virginia lineup. Didowick, Rubin, and O'Farrell. Didowick called out on strikes his first time up. Swings and misses. And it's quickly 0-2. And Kevin McMullen will ask for time and have Didowick meet him halfway up the third baseline. Gives us a chance to check in on action around the ACC. They're in the top of the second in Gainesville, 6th-ranked Florida 2, 22nd-ranked Miami 0. In the top of the 6th in Tallahassee, how about Florida Gulf Coast 8? Or beg your pardon, they've just tacked on 2 more. Florida Gulf Coast 10, Florida State 7. This after the Eagles took game 1 last night against the 16th-ranked Noles. So they're going for a series win today on the road in Tallahassee. The pitch is fouled back by Didowick, and it's 0-2. Fourteenth-ranked Louisville leads 10th-ranked TCU 3-0. Didowick lines one the opposite way into left center field. That's down for a base hit. Big turnaround first, and he will slam on the brakes as Coley did a good job of getting around it and getting it back into the infield quickly. And Didowick content with a leadoff single and his second hit of the doubleheader. Rubin the batter now for Virginia. 9 spot against the lefty Levesque. Last night it was a 10-8 win for Florida Gulf Coast over FSU. Rubin shows bunt but drags it foul outside of third. And again, Louisville, who knocked off Texas A&M yesterday as part of that Shriners Classic in Houston. In the 5th inning, they lead TCU 3-0. That's the 14th-ranked Cardinals, the 10th-ranked Horned Frogs. If Louisville picks up another win today, they are definitely ascending in the rankings next week. Rubin pops it up towards third. It will be caught by the catcher Kopak, sliding underneath the leaping third baseman DePino, charging down the line. Rubin is retired. And a heck of a catch from Kopak to shed the mask, find it, hustle after it, slide, and not only make the catch but also avoid his third baseman. So an unsuccessful attempt to advance the runner there. Now O'Farrell takes it outside, 1-0. The South Carolina Gamecocks exact a little bit of revenge. Yesterday, Clemson took game 1 in that rivalry series in Clemson. A 5-2 win for Clemson yesterday. And an 11-9 win for the Gamecocks today. Pitch downstairs to O'Farrell. Runner at first with 1 out. 2 balls, no strikes. In Atlanta, it's Georgia 16, Georgia Tech 6. O'Farrell grounds one left side off the glove of the diving third baseman DePino into short left field. Gets past the shortstop as well. It means Didowick is going to go first to third on the play, and O'Farrell slides in headlong at second, and he will get credit with a double. Well, the shortstop Ramirez was going to be there to back it up, but the diving effort from DePino, he knocked it out of Ramirez's reach, who had to then stop his momentum and double back the opposite way, and by the time he got to the baseball, O'Farrell was easily going to make it to second. So second and third, still only 1 out. Corners in, middle back, O'Donnell. Cut and a miss. And it's 0-1. The third double of the season for O'Farrell. Next pitch to O'Donnell. Inside edge for a strike. 1-1. Virginia 4, Rhode Island nothing, but a chance for more here. With O'Donnell at the plate and just one out. Didowick at third, O'Farrell at second. Great speed aboard for the Who's, and a swing and a miss. And an elevated fastball there from Levesque as O'Donnell is down on strikes. So it becomes a little more difficult now. However, Virginia does have Jake Geloff coming to the plate. 2 outs in the inning, but obviously we'll take Geloff at the plate any time with men in scoring position. Swing and a high fly ball left side. Ramirez racing out from short, up against the line, waving for it, and he can't catch it. He leaps back and it drops down next to him. A fair ball that's going to result in 2 runs scoring. Didowick from third, O'Farrell from second. And that makes it 6-0 Wahoos. And the odd thing about it was Ramirez, I mean, that's a ball that I don't know for sure if Ginther can get there from left field, and even if he did, he would have had to really hustle to get to it. Now Teal batting with Geloff at second, 2 outs. Swing and a miss at a fastball, 0-1. I think the interesting thing about it was that Ramirez, I mean, he was demonstratively waving that it was his ball and seemingly was under it and just waiting for it. Then he just misplayed it. He overran it, tried to drift back and couldn't adjust in time. Next one swung on and missed by Teal, and it's 0-2. So Geloff does not get any RBIs or anything, but Virginia does get a couple of runs on the E6. Next one taken wide. I know that's no consolation for Levesque, who thought he was out of the inning unscathed. Ramirez, who's known as such a short-handed shortstop, I mean, he just misplayed that. Now the 1-1. Inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. I mean, in his defense, it was a very high fly ball. And, you know, we talk about the difficulty that the shadows can play on the left fielder. The same would be true for the shortstop overplaying that same angle. 2-2. Teal, a little looper out towards center field. That's past the diving second baseman and into center field for a base hit. Geloff's going to come in to score and make it 7-0 Wahoos. RBI number 12 for Kyle Teal. And now Casey Sauke will be the batter. Now Levesque deals and a fastball fouled back. So of the 7 runs allowed, only 4 earned. There is activity behind him in the Rhode Island bullpen. And the next one a little bit inside, didn't miss by much. 1-1 the count. Right-hander Colin Maloney is throwing in the URI pen right now. 1-1 pitch. Swinging a line, shot over the second baseman's head into right center field. Coley over to retrieve it. First to third in the play goes Teal. And Sauke logs another hit for Virginia. The 9th hit of the ball game for UVA. And with Levesque now up over 80 pitches, that might do it for him. With Levesque running out of steam and Maloney seemingly ready in the pen. And there is the signal from head coach Rafael Serrato. So the day is done for Tristan Levesque. We'll tell you about the new pitcher for Rhode Island when we come back. It's Virginia 7, Rhode Island nothing. Cavaliers looking for more. They've got runners at the corners with 2 outs, and Ethan Anderson to the plate when we return. Well, Virginia will tag Rhode Island starter Tristan Levesque with what matches a career high in 9 hits allowed and what is a new career high in runs allowed with 7, although only 4 of those runs were earned. It's Virginia 7, Rhode Island nothing in the last of the 4th that has seen Virginia score 3 times thus far. They'll now face Colin Maloney, freshman righty from Rexford, New York. Takes over on the mound for URI to face Ethan Anderson. Switch hitter now batting left, fouls it off his front foot, and it's 0-1. Virginia with Teal at third, Salke at first, and 2 outs in the inning. Virginia 7 runs, 9 hits in this ball game to Rhode Island's no runs on 1 hit. 2 errors have helped Virginia's cause in this game. Next pitch down and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Anderson, who hit a ball to the wall his last time up, batting from the right side against Levesque. Now watches the pitch down, 2-1 the count to Anderson. Singled his first time up in the second. And he swings and pops it up. Shallow left center field. Might be a tough play. That ball's going to get down. Another run comes home to score as Teal is in. And over to third base goes Casey Salke. 8-0 Virginia on the RBI single for Ethan Anderson. Number 11 on the season for Anderson. And now Henry Godbout. And the righty Maloney deals, and he misses down and away. 1 ball, no strikes to Godbout. Maloney made his collegiate debut against Sam Houston State opening weekend, working a scoreless inning, and then pitched again on February 26th at Mercer when he allowed a run that was earned over an inning of work. Breaking ball inside, 2-0 to Godbout. So 4 runs home in the second, 4 more home here in the fourth. Virginia leads 8-0. And a fastball for a called strike, 2-1. And delayed strike call from Chris Ward. Now the 2-1 from Maloney. Breaking ball fouled off of the catcher Kopech. So 2-2 the count to Henry Godbout. Again, this after Virginia, 12-6 winners in game 1 today. Now in the middle innings of this one, leading 8-0. With the series finale set for tomorrow at 1 o'clock. 2-2 pitch, runner goes from first, down and away, throw to second base, will go through, not in time, no relay to the plate, and scoring from third is Casey Sauke. So Virginia goes steal from first, delay steal from third, and swipe the 9th run of the game. As the throw went through and Anderson took second base easily. His first stolen base. And the next one to Godbout misses outside for ball 4. Now Harrison Didowick. Breaking ball misses outside. Beg your pardon, that's Anderson's second stolen base. He was part of the double steal back in the second, and now part of the double steal with Sauke here in the 4th. So Didowick, who led off the inning with a single, takes a fastball at the knees for a called strike. The Who's have batted around again. They did so in the first inning of Game 1, do so in the 4th inning here of Game 2. Now the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Changeup had Didowick out in front. Right-hander to the high set, the pitch. And Didowick takes it down. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. In Virginia, tagging the starter Levesque for 9 runs now, only 4 earned. As Didowick a cut and a miss at a breaking ball, and that will retire the side. So he is down swinging. But not before Virginia sends 10 men to the plate and tack on a 5 spot here in the 4th. As we go to the 5th, it's Virginia 9, Rhode Island nothing.
That's 434-924.
Yet another big inning for Virginia has now made it a 9-0 Wahoo lead as we go to the 5th. And Brian Edgington back to the mound to face the bottom third of the Rhode Island lineup. Michael Anderson, late cut and a miss. And a fastball from Edgington. No balls, 1 strike. Anderson, Hopko, and King for the Rams here in the 5th. Edgington into the 70s in terms of pitch count now. And his 72nd pitch of the day. Roped but foul up onto the berm. 107 off the bat. Anderson scalding that one, but it's just a long strike 2. Freshman out of Monsignor Bonner in the Philadelphia area. Now the 0-2. Check swing down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Anderson was an all-Delco selection as a pitcher last year as a senior and as an infielder in 2021, his junior season. Two-way standout, understandably focusing on his work as a first baseman considering how well he's been swinging the bat this season. The 1-2 pitch. Right there for strike 3 called, and he knew it. 7 strikeouts now for Edgington. 6 of the 7 have been looking. With 7 strikeouts and 2 walks today, Edgington now with 19 strikeouts to only 3 walks on the season. Now Jack Hopko walked his first time out. Swing and a miss at a changeup. 0-1 the count. Hopko, freshman, gets the start as the designated hitter. Left-handed bat, the pitch. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Rated as the number 8 impact freshman in the A-10, according to D1 Baseball. And he has, again, been splitting time at the DH spot. This is his 15th at bat of the season. The 1-1. Swing and a ball fouled back, 1-2. 3-sport athlete at Maine Indwell Senior High School. Also played basketball and football. Actually, his dad was a collegiate football player. Joe Hopko played quarterback and running back at Colgate in the late 80s, early 90s. 1-2 pitch from Edgington. Reached for, looped foul out towards shallow left. Didowick calling everybody off. Crosses into foul territory and makes the catch for out number 2. So base is clear and 2 outs. Ryan King, the batter now for the Rhode Island Rams. Talked up their offense, and they showcased it a bit in Game 1, 6 runs, 10 hits. Although here in Game 2, Brian Edgington has limited them to 1 hit in the ballgame. That was a 2-out single for Michael Anderson in the 2nd. Otherwise, they have drawn a couple of walks, but that's really been it. Pitch a strike to King, 0-1. Out of St. Peter's Prep in New Jersey. The 0-1 from Edgington. Missed away with a fastball, 1-1. Edgington adjusts the hat. Now stretches out the arms and peers in to get the sign for the 1-1 from Kyle Teal. And the pitch to King. Fastball, strike 2 called. Over or close enough for the outside edge. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. 2 outs, base is empty. Deep breath from Edgington, big shoulder shrug. Now the right-hander's 1-2 offering is over the outside corner for strike 3 called. 8 strikeouts, 7 of which have been looking for Brian Edgington this afternoon. and he is through 5 innings of one-hit baseball. At the end of 4.5 innings of play, our score remains Virginia 9, Rhode Island nothing.
Leading off for your Cavalier second baseman, number 12, Justin Rubin.
Justin Rubin to lead things off for Virginia as we go now bottom 5 in Charlottesville. The pitch fouled away by Rubin as Colin Maloney remains on for Rhode Island. Virginia 9, URI nothing our score. The Wahoos putting up 4 in the second inning, 5 more last inning. And the pitch, that's upstairs, back to the backstop. And 1-1 the count now to Rubin. He has an RBI today on a ground out in the second. But 0 for 2 overall. Righty against righty, the 1-1. Down and away, 2 balls, 1 strike. To the second-year infielder. Now, as much as Virginia's offense, again, 12 runs, 14 hits game 1. 9 runs, 10 hits so far midway through game 2. Fastball for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They have seemingly stolen the show again all day long. However, as Rubin taps one over towards third, DePino fields, fires to first and got it there just in time for out number 1. I'll tell you this, Brian Edgington doing his best to steal the show in game 2 with 5 innings of one-hit baseball in the books. Now the top of the order for Virginia, and Luke Hansen. Swing and a miss. A little tardy on a fastball from Hansen. Saw Hansen pinch hit in game 1 and recorded a single in his lone at bat. And again, continues to swing it very well, making the most of his opportunities. Breaking ball down and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hansen off the bench is 4 of 6 on the season. One fastball down, 2 balls, 1 strike. Maloney working from the stretch, even with the bases empty here. 2-1. Breaking ball, strike, and it's 2-2. Now the pitch. Breaking ball chopped foul towards the camera well. Clean pick by Brian McGuire, Virginia's athletic trainer, down to the opposite end of Virginia's dugout, closest to the camera well. Now the 2-2. Inside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hansen swings, fouls a fastball back. We'll do it again. Count remains full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. See if Hansen can keep this remarkable string of success in a pinch hitter's role going. The payoff is inside, ball 4. Watches a slider miss in off the plate. And Ethan O'Donnell now. I think it'll be interesting to see if Hansen will remain on as a straight change to play shortstop for O'Farrell, or if he will slide over to second base and Rubin will move to shortstop. Either way, checking back in on those games featuring ACC teams was discussing earlier. Florida State has stormed back. It's now a ball game tied at 10 in the 7th between FSU and Florida Gulf Coast. The Eagles, the upset win in Game 1 last night at Mike Martin Field. Meanwhile, in Houston, 14th-ranked Louisville tangling with 10th-ranked TCU. And it's the Cards in front 3-0 in the 7th. 6th-ranked Florida 2, 22nd-ranked Miami 1 in the 4th in Gainesville. Ethan O'Donnell, a cut and a miss at the first pitch there, 0-1. Checking in on Virginia's first ACC opponent, North Carolina. They're hosting Stony Brook this weekend. UNC got the win yesterday in 11 innings. The 0-1 pitch. O'Donnell showing bunt, pulls it back. That one missed his head and goes to the backstop. Truly a wild pitch. Forget about the bunt. Hansen gifted second base there. Next one to O'Donnell, breaking ball a little bit low, 2 balls and a strike. A Mac Horvath walk-off homer gave North Carolina the 3-2 win in 11 innings yesterday. Today, 7-5 winners for the 13th-ranked Tar Heels. Fastball high to O'Donnell, 3 balls and 1 strike. UNC currently with an 8-3 record. A loss to Seton Hall. They took 2 out of 3 in that series, and 2 losses to East Carolina. And that series with the Pirates. Now the 3-1 pitch. There's a fastball strike, 3-2. And Virginia will meet the Tar Heels in Chapel Hill next weekend to open up ACC play from Boshamer Stadium. Actually, back-to-back weekends in the Triangle area with 3 games at NC State to follow the following weekend. Pitch down and in and bounces away from the catcher, but O'Donnell takes it for ball 4, and Hansen remains at second base. Now Jake Geloff for Virginia. Virginia mounting another threat, and activity now picks back up in the Rhode Island bullpen. Runners at first and second, 1 out. And that one gets away from the catcher Kopak. Hansen over to third base. O'Donnell up to second. Could see that one going as a pass ball. We'll see. honestly, either way. Left-hander throwing looks to be Brock French for Rhode Island. And yes, it is a pass ball. So wild pitch advances both runners. And then pass ball gets him to second and third. So 2 minutes scoring position, 1 out for Geloff, who spins it off the end of the bat, rolling it over towards first. Looked to be going foul, but the spin keeps it fair. Picked up by Anderson, who steps on the base. Geloff will get an RBI in the process as Hansen comes in to score. Virginia into double digits once again. It's 10-0 UVA. RBI number 16 for Geloff. Now Kyle Teal. Backdoor breaking ball for strike one. Also saw a right-hander beginning to loosen up, and that was, I think, Connor Grote-Johann, who was the DH in game one today. 0-1 hit sharply back up the middle and through for a base hit. Another RBI for Kyle Teal on another base hit for the Cavalier catcher. He stays red hot. 2 hits in game one. He's got a 4-hit game here in game two. 6 hits over the course of today's doubleheader in 8 at-bats for Kyle Teal. RBI number 13 for Teal, and an 11-0 Wahoo lead. Now Casey Sauke to the plate for Virginia. And he takes it high, 1-0. And a fastball over the outside edge from Maloney. 1-1 the count. Virginia 11 runs on 11 hits. But again, pitching has been equally impressive, with Brian Edgington limiting Rhode Island to 1 hit over 5 innings of work. Breaking ball grounded sharply to third. DePino, the short route to second, and that will retire the side. It goes 5-4 on the fielder's choice, and the inning is over. But not before Virginia tacks on 2 more, and at the end of 5 complete, it's the Who's 11, the Rams nothing.
All right, fans, turn your attention to the vision for tonight's edition of Get to Know the Who's.
Duck-sized horses. Duck is the most fear-cutting in the world. It can do land, air, and water. So a horse-sized duck would be unstoppable.
What kind of horse-sized duck you would do? I mean, I just can't figure out. It's like I did have the big times before, yeah, horses, like, you just make it. Yeah.
On a horse-sized duck, I feel like I could run around which times you confuse it and take out sounds.
Is it solo or is it together?
Together, I think we can take a horse-sized duck down for sure. One goes to the legs, one goes on the body, and a duck doesn't really have anything on it that could do a lot of damage to us, even though it's pretty big. It's got beak, but once we figure out, once we take that out, I love all that.
Brian Edgington back out for his 6th inning of work for Virginia, and again, he has been spectacular through the first 5. He's allowed just 1 hit, a 2nd inning single, and that has been it for The Rhode Island offense, this vaunted Rhode Island offense. And Mark Coley leading off, a swing and a miss at the first pitch from Edgington. No balls and 1 strike. Virginia 11, Rhode Island nothing. And Edgington back into the windup. Righty deals. Little check swing bouncer to first, gobbled up by Anderson. He will trot over and step on the bag himself. It goes 3 unassisted, and there's 1 away in the 6th. Number of guys have made their way out to Virginia's bullpen over the course of the last couple of innings or inning breaks. And finally, a couple of guys tossing, but very short tosses just beginning to get loose. Eric Ginther, the batter now for Rhode Island. Left-hand hitter against the righty Edgington. And a breaking ball down. 1 ball, no strikes. Ginther caught looking in the first and hit by a pitch in the third. Swinging a line drive. That's the second hit of the day for Rhode Island as Ginther laces one into right field. I'll tell you what, Ginther has had a couple of times he has hit the ball really hard today over the course of the doubleheader. That time picks up a 1-out single. Second hit, both singles for Rhode Island against Edgington in this game. And now the dangerous Addison Kopach back to the plate again for URI. 1 out and a man aboard at first, as Anderson holds on Kopach at first base. Now the pitch. Swing and a ball popped up, foul back and out of play. No balls, 1 strike to count. Kopach, redshirt junior from Cumberland High School in Rhode Island. The Cumberland Clippers. He was the #1 rated third baseman coming out of Rhode Island, according to Perfect Game, in his high school days. Breaking ball for a strike, and it's quickly 0-2. And again, rated as a third baseman, but truly a utility guy. They say a lot that X guy can play all over the field. That is actually the truth for Addison Kopach. He gets the start behind the plate catching today. Fastball down and away, 1-2. Served as the second baseman in game 1. Those have been the 2 primary spots he has played defensively this season, but in his Rhode Island career, he's played first, second, short, third, has caught and has pitched. And I suspect if a need arose, he could play the outfield and could play so very well. The 1-2. That's upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And in fact, he did in summer ball with the Mystic Schooners of the New England Collegiate Baseball League, where he has spent the last couple of summers. Two balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. Tapped foul. And the count remains level at 2-2. Now Edgington again draws set at the belt. Right-handers 2-2. Breaking ball lined but foul. Off to the right side. So this battle continues between Edgington and the dangerous Addison Kopach. Edgington into the 90s in terms of pitch count now. And a swing and another foul ball back on a fastball. Virginia would love to continue to stretch him out. He threw 86 pitches last time after 76 pitches opening weekend against Navy. And he's about to throw his 92nd pitch of the day here. So they've done exactly that. Check on the runner, just a lob toss over to first to keep Ginther honest, who has yet to attempt a stolen base this season. Now the 2-2. Swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt, picked up by Teal, who will put the tag on Kopak. Strikeout number 9 for Brian Edgington. He matches his Virginia high. Struck out 9 last weekend against Columbia. And he has posted the same total today against Rhode Island. Career high is 12. He did that all the way back in 2021 against William & Mary. Billy Butler takes a fastball for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Butler 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts in this game. 2 for 5 with a home run in game 1 of the doubleheader. Now the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Good slider from Edgington. Checks at the runner at first, and now set. No balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Slider hit off the end of the bat, foul back into the netting, and it's still 0-2. It looked like Butler extending off of the outside corner to spoil that pitch, but close enough for him to offer at it. Top of the 6th, 11-0. Virginia in control. The 0-2. Swinging a hard hit ball towards third. Gets past Geloff as he deflects it into foul territory. That will force Ginther to stop at second base. Third hit of the day for Rhode Island. 101 off the bat. I mean, Butler hit that really sharply, and Geloff did all he could to try and backhand pick it, but he was able to knock it foul, which, again, what that did was keep Ginther at second, which relatedly keeps the runner at first. And now Butler's actually going to be lifted for a pinch runner. Now Anthony DePino takes a breaking ball for a strike.
First base number 17, Calvin McCall.
And Edgington's pitch just off the outside corner. 1-1. It's even up to DePino. 0 for 2 in this game, 1 for 7 in the doubleheader. And that one hit was a solo home run. Next one swung on and missed. So Edgington again 1 pitch away from getting out of this 6th, and here it is, down and away with a slider. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Anthony DePino. He bats with Ginther at second, and the pinch runner McCall at first. And Edgington now up over 100 pitches in the game, trying to get this final out of the 6th. The righty deals. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, confirms the first base umpire, Greg Howard. And that will set down DePino on strikes. That is indeed the final pitch that Brian Edgington will throw today. What a way to end it. His 10th strikeout of the ball game and 6 shutout frames under his belt. We will go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's Virginia 11, Rhode Island nothing.
Congratulations to Thomas Hodgkins. He's tonight's baseball bingo winner.
We saw him earlier today as the designated hitter in Game 1, and Connor Grote-Johann is now on in relief for Rhode Island. As we go to the last of the 6th, and the freshman right-hander takes over as pitcher number 3 here in Game 2 of the doubleheader. An inning and a third, and 43 pitches thrown by freshman righty Colin Maloney. He allowed 2 runs, 1 earned on a couple of hits. It also looks like Rhode Island may have made some wholesale substitutions defensively, so we will try and catch up over the course of the inning. And this will be fun. Breaking ball misses down to Ethan Anderson, almost like spring training. Oh, at least the left side of the infield appears to remain intact. Pitch swung on, lifted out towards left center field by Anderson. That drops down in front of the Rhode Island left fielder, and Anderson is in safely at second with a 2-base hit. So Anderson with a double. And for Anderson, that is hit number 3 in the game and his 6th double of the season. And I wonder if Virginia will start to empty the bench a bit as well. Godbout batting for himself, but this might be the last trip through the order for a lot of the starters, and then we'll work different guys in. Fastball in tight to Godbout, 1-0. There's a called strike, 90-mile-an-hour fastball from the right-hander Grote-Johann. Next one skips in and smothered by the catcher. That looks like Nicholas Toro. is now behind the plate. Yeah, the next one to Godbout fouled back. Calvin McCall, who pinch ran for Butler, remains on. In right field. Now the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Got him on strikes with a fastball. Godbout is out swinging. And there's one away. Now Colin Tuft will get another at bat now, after starting as the DH in game one. And a breaking ball from Grote-Johann bounces in. 1 ball, no strikes to Colin Tuft. Batting in Didowick's spot in the order, so Tuft will get some time in the outfield now. Now the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a ball fouled back on a fastball. Count even up at 1-1. Well, Virginia making it look fairly easy last week and this week, but certainly not the case to sweep a doubleheader regardless of the opponent at this level. 2 doubleheaders last year. They both came in ACC play. Duke and Clemson. And they split both of those twin bills. Next pitch fouled back, and it's 1-2 on Tuft. Again, Anderson at second with 1 away here in the last of the 6th. Grote-Johann from the belt. Kicks, deals. And a breaking ball fouled away by Tuft. And we'll do it again, 1-2. And Tuft watches the next one sail well wide. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tuft in game one as the DH, 1 for 3. Did have 3 RBIs in that game. Now facing the 6'5" right-hander, Connor Grote-Johann. Fouls another one back on a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Big kid at 6'5", 225, showcasing a pretty good arm. Runner at second, 1 out. 11-0 Virginia in the 6th. And the pitch. Outside with a breaking ball again, and it's 3-2. And Tuft watches ball 4 to put runners at first and second with 1 out in the inning. And Rubin swings, smacks one to second on a line that's caught by the second baseman King. Thought about trying to double off the runner at second, but nobody covering at the bag, and he was going to lose the foot race there. Hard hit by Rubin, but nothing to show for it. Now Hansen will get his second plate appearance. Hansen swings, skies one down the right field line, racing over the right fielder, goes into a dive, and McCall, an all-out effort, he can't come up with it. But a heck of an effort. It is a foul ball. And so the runners will retreat. Anderson to second base, Tuft to first. And Hansen, now the count, a ball and a strike on him. And the next one a little bit wide. 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 pitch. Hansen bounces it up the middle. That ball is going to sneak through for a base hit. Around third, Anderson will head home, and the ball misplayed by the center fielder. They will stop Tuft at third base. And so Virginia settles for the 1 run on the RBI single for Luke Hansen. I'll tell you what, again, the opportunities have been somewhat limited, but if he keeps taking advantage of them, there will be more, because with 2 hits in today's doubleheader, Luke Hansen is now 5 for 7 on the year as a pinch hitter. Pitch down and into Ethan O'Donnell. I guess not technically all as a pinch hitter, because this most recent plate appearance, even though it was his first at bat after walking his first time up, he had already been in the game as the shortstop by that point. Next one swung on and missed. 2 balls and 1 strike. Now the pitch from Grote Johann, and a fastball up and away to Ethan O'Donnell. And again, I think here in the 6th, some guys probably getting their last at bat. Virginia in front 12-0. O'Donnell, little check swing tapper back to the mound. Grote Johann fields, flips over to first, and that will retire the side. But not before Virginia tacks on another run. And it looks like Virginia will finally be dipping into the bullpen, which will mean the end of the night for Brian Edgington. What a start it was of 6 shutout innings. We'll tell you more about it on the other side. But after 6 complete in Charlottesville, Virginia 12, Rhode Island nothing.
Rhode Island is one of 4 athletic opponents for the Cavaliers this season. Can you name the other 3? Leave your answer at EBA Baseball, and we will pick our random entry to win our Virginia Athletics prize pack. That will be announced at the end of the 7th inning.
Colin McKay will take over for Virginia as we go to the 7th, and the first-year righty impressive in his Cavalier debut against Longwood as he struck out a couple over a scoreless inning of relief a couple of weeks ago, but he takes over now in the 7th with Virginia in front by a 12-0 score. Job well done by Brian Edgington once again today, as he tosses 6 innings of 3-hit baseball. Fastball from McKay in there for a strike, 0-1. 94 top of the zone. We saw him go as high as 95 in that outing against Longwood. McKay, the first year from Maury High School in Norfolk, deals, and he's a little high with a fastball. 1-1 the count. Ramirez, Anderson, and Hopko, the scheduled batters for Rhode Island. Now the 1-1 pitch, way high. 2 balls and a strike. McKay, 6'1", 210-pound righty, wears number 35 for Virginia. Again, Norfolk kid, righty on the mound against the lefty at the plate. And his 2-1 offering. Swing and a miss. Fastball by Ramirez. See how Virginia chops it up the rest of the way with 9 outs to get. And the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Again up to 95 and blew it by him. And the first strikeout for Colin McKay. 11th strikeout for Virginia pitching, thanks to 10 from the Cavalier starter Brian Edgington. 6 innings, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts. He allowed just 3 hits. They were all singles and did not allow a run. It's 12-0 Hoos here in the 7th. Michael Anderson is the batter. Righty against righty. The pitch from McKay. Slider drops in for strike 1. Nasty pitch there that had Anderson buckling a bit. Now McKay back into the windup and his 0-1. Down and away, 1-1. Successful day all around the athletic grounds, seemingly continuing to be even more so. This score would hold. Virginia would have a doubleheader sweep of Rhode Island after a 12-6 win in Game 1 earlier today. Now the 1-1 pitch. Anderson a cut and a miss at a fastball, and it's 1-2. Beyond the left field wall at Klockner Stadium, Virginia lacrosse now in action against the University of Richmond. Cavalier men leading Richmond 8-0 in the first. And there is a fastball that just missed wide. Of course, the headliner, Cavalier men's basketball, across the street at JPJ with a 75-60 win over Louisville to claim a share of the ACC regular season title. Pitch is swung on, line to right field, racing back on it. Sauke will track it down. Gracefully lunging after it. That's out number 2. And we'll get Jack Hopko to the plate.
Designated hitter number 6, Jack Hopko.
And Virginia softball also in action. Right next to Klockner at Palmer Park. Again, it's been a busy day, but a successful one really all around so far. Fastball swung on a miss by Hopko, 0-1. Right back at it tomorrow with a 1 o'clock start time for the Hoos and the Rams of Rhode Island to wrap up the series. Pitch missed, and it's 1-1 now to Hopko. Freshman bats from the left side of the plate. 0 for 1 with a walk and a fly out to left field. The 1-1 from McKay. Popped him up foul. That'll get out of play. 3 against Rhode Island and 4 other games this season against Atlantic 10 competition. George Washington will be the midweek test in between matchups with UNC and NC State. VCU for a home and home, and the University of Richmond comes to town in mid-April as well. Slider misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just as he did against Longwood, McKay has topped out at 95 in this appearance. Right-hander back into the windup, and the pitch is swung on and missed. 1, 2, 3 go the Rams here in the 7th. And McKay with a couple of strikeouts in the mix as well. At the end of now 6.5 innings of play. Stretch time in Charlottesville. We go to the bottom half of the inning. It's Virginia 12, Rhode Island nothing.
All right, fans, it's time to get up on your feet. You know what time it is. It's time for the 7th inning stretch. Let's hear those pipes. The 7th inning stretch is presented by the Joint Chiropractic.
Just as he did in Game 1, Anthony Stefan will pinch hit for Virginia. And he leads things off here in the bottom of the 7th. Chops the first pitch he sees out to second base, and a low throw, unable to be picked by Michael Anderson at first base. And Stefan will reach on an E4. Well, it has been that kind of day for Rhode Island. The 4th error of the day on the Rams. Now Travis Reefsnyder will bat for Kyle Teal. Virginia appears to finally be emptying the bench here in the 7th inning. Pitch bounces away from the catcher Toro. Next pitch down and in to Reefsnyder. For the season, Reefsnyder 1 for 7. Did come on to catch a couple of innings at the end of Game 1. But now getting his first at bat of the day. Takes it for a called strike, and it's 2-1. Now the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and skied to left field. Ginther waiting on it, now coming in. And will eventually make a two-handed catch. Squeezed it to make good and sure. And that is out number 1. Beg your pardon, that is not Ginther. That is David Marchetti in left field. Now pinch hitter for Virginia, Chris Baker, and another wild pitch uncorked by Grote Johann allows Stefan to take third base. And Baker swings, pops it up on the infield. It looks like the first baseman, Anderson, is going to call off the pitcher, Grote Johann, who initially was not getting out of the way of it. He wanted to make a play on it if he was allowed, but ultimately Anderson took charge. Now Ethan Anderson will bat for himself. And Anderson takes a fastball from Grote Johann, the miss down. So here in the seventh, 3 consecutive pinch hitters, but now Anderson batting for himself. The pitch, a little bit high, 1-0. We already saw Hansen come on earlier in the game. As Anderson fouls away the next one, a fastball from Grote Johann. 2 balls and 1 strike. 12-0 Virginia leads. 12 runs on 13 hits. And the next one lined through the right side of the infield for a base hit. So Anderson has himself another hit and RBI as he drives home Stefan from third base. And for Anderson, he has himself a 4-hit ball game and his 12th RBI of the year. Now Henry Godbout will bat. Virginia surpassing its run total from Game 1. I think the only question now is, will the Who's be able to preserve the shutout? Pitch bounced in, 1 ball, no strikes to Godbout. Still looking for his first hit in this ball game. He has been on base twice, hit by a pitch and also walked. He lines one down the left field line, hooking and foul. And it's 1-1. Got a pitch down in the zone and also in, and he pulled the hands in, but could not keep it fair. Runner at first base not being held on. 2 outs here in the 7th. And the pitch grounded foul outside of third. 1-2. Godbout started at second Game 1, the designated hitter here in Game 2. So not really a guy that needs a respite. But for a lot of these starters who have played a lot of innings today, good to get some guys off their feet. The 1-2. Swung on, lifted foul, right side, and out of play. We'll do it again, 1-2. 2 outs, runner at first base. Virginia 13 runs, 14 hits. Rhode Island has been held scoreless on just 3 hits in this game. Now the 1-2. Breaking ball lifted towards center field. Should get him out of the inning. McKenzie, the center fielder, under it, makes the catch. And that will retire the side. Virginia tacks on another run. And at the end of 7 complete, it's the Who's 13, the Rams nothing.
All right, fans, it's time to announce the answer and the winner of tonight's Twitter trivia question. Tonight's question: Rhode Island is one of the 4 Atlantic opponents Cavaliers will face this season. Can you name the other 3? The correct answer is
Another one of the talented first-year righties, Kevin Jaxel, takes over as we go to the 8th. First year from Congers, New York. 6'4", 215-pound righty Jaxel is on for the second time this season. Ryan King, the first man he faces, and a fastball misses wide. 1 ball, no strikes. Cavaliers in control of this one, 13-0 the Who's lead. And the pitch swung on and popped up right side of the infield. Anthony Stefan, who was in at second base, calling for it, drifting back and makes a two-handed catch. King is retired, and there's 1 away. Jaxel worked a scoreless inning against Longwood back on the 21st of February. Allowed 1 hit in that outing and also struck out a batter. And now the center fielder Brody McKenzie will bat. Came on a couple of innings ago defensively and now gets his first opportunity to hit. As is the case for the man who waits on deck in David Marchetti. Swing and a miss from McKenzie. Plenty of defensive changes for Virginia behind and around Kevin Jaxel. The 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball. Good one for a strike. It's 1-2. Travis Reeve-Snyder is the catcher now and battery mate for Jaxel. Rubin moves from second to third base. And Anthony Stefan now plays second base. And McKenzie hit by the pitch.
For Rhode Island, number 27, David Marchetti.
So the infield, third to first, now has Justin Rubin at third, Luke Hansen at short, Anthony Stefan at second, and Ethan Anderson remains on at first base. So now Nicholas Toro, who came on defensively a couple of innings back behind the plate, gets his first at bat. Runner at first base, 1 out. Toro 0 for 2 on the season. He fouls the pitch back on a 91-mile-an-hour fastball from Kevin Jaxel, and it's 1-1. Saw Jaxel as high as 93 in his first appearance against Longwood. 1-1 and a swing and a miss by Marchetti. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Jaxel out of Don Bosco Prep in northern New Jersey. He deals the 1-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. That ball running up and in on Marchetti, but he couldn't help himself. And that is the first strikeout for Kevin Jaxel on the 13th for Virginia pitching here today. So Toro will get an at-bat now. Again, Rhode Island having emptied the bench defensively a couple of innings ago. And putting McKenzie in center, Marchetti in left, Toro behind the plate, and McCall in right. Breaking ball outside. And as far as I can tell, they kept the infield intact, and that remains the case. 1 ball, no strikes. Runner at first with 2 outs in the top of the 8th inning. And a fastball, check swing popper, foul ground left side, but Rubin will not have a play on it. Bounces in the second row of seats behind the Virginia dugout. One ball, 1 strike, and the pitch. There's a called strike. 1-2. Fastball wide from Jaxel. 2 balls, 2 strikes. On Nicholas Toro. Freshman from Lincoln, Rhode Island. 6'1" right-handed hitter, and the pitch right there for strike 3 called. Couple of Ks in the inning for the right-hander Kevin Jaxel. Punctuates it with a backwards K here in the 8th, and at the end of 7.5 innings of play, the Who's are cruising. It's 13-0 Virginia as we go to the bottom of the 8th at Disharoon Park.
Fans, bring your family to Disharoon Park to enjoy our Sunday evenings. Every Sunday we'll have inflatables, a balloon harness, posting autographs, and kids running the bases. And don't forget, tickets are free with the purchase of an adult general admission ticket. Visit UVATix.com for more. Now pitching for Rhode Island, number 30, Corey Sabatoff. Leading off for your Cavaliers, number 21, Colin Tuft.
Colin Tuft to the plate to face the new Rhode Island pitcher. Sophomore right-hander Corey Sabatoff takes over and deals upstairs with a fastball 1-0. The 2023 debut for the sophomore out of New City, New York. Corey Sabatoff, who made 12 appearances last year for Rhode Island, including 3 starts. Breaking ball misses down and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Tuft, Rubin, and Hansen, the scheduled batters last of the 8th. It's all academic now. Virginia obviously could take insurance, but leading 13-0, very much in control. Pitch a called strike, and it's 2-1. The 2-1. Over the outside edge, 2-2. Starter Tristan Levesque. 3 2/3 innings, 9 runs, only 4 were earned on 9 hits. It was Colin Maloney for an inning and a third. He allowed 2 runs, 1 of which was earned on 2 hits. Tuft, a line shot right at the third baseman, DePino. And Tuft, a screamer with nothing to show for it. 1 away now, and Justin Rubin the batter. After Maloney, Connor Grote-Johann for 2 innings. He allowed 2 runs, 1 of which was earned on 3 hits. And now Corey Sabatoff for the 8th. Fastball for a called strike, 0-1. Breaking ball drops over the inside edge. Front door curveball, 0-2 the count to Rubin. Top of the order, and Hansen waits on deck. Now the 0-2 from Sabatoff. Taken high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Last year, Sabatoff again, 12 appearances, 3 starts, and struggled on the hill. Went 0-3 with an ERA up over 10. Breaking ball a little bit low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 16 innings, he struck out 18, but he walked 25. And opponents hit 357 against him. Pitch upstairs, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And again, this is the first action he's seeing in 2023. But 25 hits allowed over 16 innings last season, and he stumbles and falls down the hill. And now Savadoff going to be called for an illegal pitch that accounts for ball 4. And so Ruben will be given a walk. Now the top of the order in Luke Hansen. Swings and taps it foul. Outside of third base. Runner at first not being held on. The 0-1. Breaking ball for a called strike, and it's 0-2. Hansen walked in his first plate appearance. Ripped an RBI single in the 6th inning. The 0-1, or 0-2 I should say. Swung on and missed. And he is down on strikes. So 2 down here in the 8th. As Savadoff gets his first strikeout of the season. Now Ethan O'Donnell to the plate again for Virginia. Takes the pitch high, 1 ball, no strikes. There has been some activity this half inning in the Virginia bullpen, breaking ball down and away. And that has been Evan Blanco throwing. It would appear he will get the 9th to try and finish off the doubleheader sweep for Virginia. 2-0 pitch to O'Donnell in the meantime. At the knees for a called strike, 2-1. Again for Virginia's offense, 12 runs, 14 hits in game 1, 13 runs, 14 hits here in game 2. Fastball fouled back, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 4-hit games for both Kyle Teal and Ethan Anderson in this second game of the doubleheader. 2-1 misses upstairs. Or 2-2, I should say, misses upstairs. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. O'Farrell, multi-hit game, going 2 for 3. Salke, a multi-hit game, going 2 for 4. Payoff pitch, runner goes, swung on and bounced foul. After game 1 saw a combined 6 home runs, there have not been any home runs in game 2. The wind did die down significantly from game 1 to game 2, but as a breaking ball is going to be called strike 3, and that was appeared to be up and out of the strike zone. Brian O'Connor going to talk with O'Donnell and also home plate umpire Chris Ward, and it was interesting to see Chris Ward actually patting the back of O'Donnell as he walked back to the dugout, almost as if to admit that he had gifted a 3rd strike call to move the game along. But it's not going to make O'Donnell feel any better. So we will go to the 9th now. Virginia 3 outs away from a doubleheader sweep, and Evan Blanco takes over when we come back. It's 13-0 Hoos after 8. 3 outs separating Virginia from a doubleheader sweep and also a 10-0 start to this 2023 season. Evan Blanco becomes pitcher number 4 in the ball game. He takes over on the hill. Left-hander to face Calvin McCall, Alex Ramirez, or at least his spot in the order, and Anthony DePino. Pitch a called strike. It's 0-1. Edgington, McKay, Jaxel, and now Blanco for Virginia on the mound in the back half of the twin bill. And Blanco on for the 3rd time this season. Deals a fastball down. 1 ball, 1 strike. Calvin McCall, who came on as a pinch runner in the 6th inning, now getting his first at bat after having spent some time out in right field. McCall 1 for 3 on the season. Swings and lifts one out towards right center field, chasing back Baker. He's got a long way to go, and he will track it down for out number 1. So McCall is retired, and now Anthony DePino will bat. 1 out, top of the 9th. Virginia 13, Rhode Island nothing. There's a called strike, off-speed pitch to start DePino. He's 0 for 3 so far in this game after a 1 for 5 in game 1. The 0-1. Swung on, grounded out towards second. Stefan in to field it. Sidearm flip to first. And plenty of time for out number 2. And the Hoos are now 1 out away from locking down the win. Alex Ramirez is the batter for Rhode Island now. Left-hand hitting shortstop. 0 for 2 with a walk. And the pitch. Breaking ball, a little bit low. 1 ball, no strikes. Got going with a 12:03 first pitch in game 1. The pitch swung on, skied left side. Foul territory. Is it going to be playable for Rubin? Reaching over the Camberwell wall. Can't quite get to it. And it's 1-1. Long day that has seen Virginia over the course of games 1 and 2 put up a combined 25 runs and 25 hits, or 28 hits, excuse me, and now 1 out away from locking down a 3-hit shutout in game 2. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2 as Blanco blows a fastball by Ramirez, and the Hoos are now 1 strike away. Lefty winds, deals, and misses upstairs with a breaking ball. 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Blanco. Swung on, lifted foul left side. Rubin again giving chase, but it is off into the seats. And a couple of the youngsters still sticking around till the end of the day. Will race after that. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty here in the 9th. Blanco working lefty against lefty, and he deals. Swung on and skied on the infield, and this should do it. Who's going to take charge? Anderson coming in from first is under it, makes the catch, and that'll do it. Virginia combines on the mound for a 3-hit shutout of Rhode Island. The offense more than takes care of the rest. Another 13-run performance, 13 runs on 14 hits here in Game 2 of the doubleheader. Cavaliers have swept the doubleheader and are off to a 10-0 start. It is a double-digit win streak to start the year for UVA. Virginia improves to 2-0 with the win here in Game 2. Virginia is also now 12-0 all-time against Rhode Island and pushed Brian O'Connor to the brink of a little history. He's now sitting at 799 wins as the head coach at Virginia. Will go for number 800 tomorrow in the series finale with Rhode Island. We'll have that one at 1 o'clock for you. Hope you will join us at that time as Virginia again will look to go to 11-0 to start 2023. Virginia 13-0 winners, 13 runs, 14 hits. Already mentioned 4-hit games for Kyle Teal and Ethan Anderson. And for Rhode Island, no runs on 3 hits. They were all singles. Rhode Island, 4 errors, 6 left. Virginia, no errors, 10 left. The win will go to Brian Edgington. 6 innings of shutout baseball, walked 2, struck out 10. And Edgington will go to 3-0 on the season. The loss will be tagged to Tristan Levesque. He goes to 2-1, allowing 9 runs, 4 of which were earned on 9 hits over 3 2/3 innings today. There was no save, and a ball game that took 2 hours and 52 minutes to be played. Doubleheader played in front of a paid attendance of 3,632 fans. Again, Virginia with the win improves to 10-0, and with the loss drops Rhode Island to 3-5. That'll do it for our broadcast and broadcasts today. Got to send out thanks to everybody who helped make them possible, and everybody involved. I'm Channing Poole saying I hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and I know you enjoyed the results over the course of today. One final time, our final score from Davenport Field at Disharoon Park, Virginia 13, Rhode Island nothing. Until tomorrow, a 1 o'clock start. We will have that one for you on 1070 AM, 98.9 FM, WINA locally in Charlottesville, streaming anywhere at WINA.com. We're also through the Virginia Sports app and virginiasports.com. Hope you will join me for that 1 o'clock start time as Virginia goes for the sweep. And Brian O'Connor looks for win number 800 all time as the head coach at Virginia. But until then, thanks so much for listening, everybody.